It is unsafe to feed a circuit breaker from both sides. Doing so creates a hazardous condition known as a crossfeed. A crossfeed occurs when electricity flows back through the circuit breaker in an uncontrolled and unintended manner. This situation can lead to several serious problems. Firstly, the circuit breaker itself can be damaged. Circuit breakers are designed to handle current flowing in one direction. When electricity is fed from both sides, it can overload the internal components of the breaker and cause them to fail prematurely. Secondly, overheating can occur. The uncontrolled flow of electricity can generate excessive heat within the circuit breaker and the connected wiring. This heat can melt insulation, damage equipment, and potentially ignite nearby combustible materials. Thirdly, there is a significant risk of fire. Overheating components and damaged wiring can easily start a fire, endangering property and lives. Circuit breakers are designed to protect electrical circuits by interrupting the flow of electricity when there is a fault, such as a short circuit or an overload. When a fault occurs, the circuit breaker trips, cutting off the power to the affected circuit and preventing further damage or injury. Feeding the circuit breaker from both sides defeats this protection mechanism. The breaker may not be able to trip properly, or it may not trip at all, leaving the circuit unprotected and vulnerable to damage. Moreover, feeding a circuit breaker from both sides can compromise the overall safety of the electrical system. It can create unexpected voltage levels in different parts of the circuit, making it difficult to troubleshoot problems and increasing the risk of electrical shock. It is essential to adhere to proper wiring practices and follow the electrical code to ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system. Always connect the circuit breaker to the power source on one side only, and connect the load to the other side. Never attempt to feed the circuit breaker from both sides. If you are unsure about how to properly wire a circuit breaker, consult a qualified electrician. An electrician has the knowledge and experience to perform the work safely and correctly. They can also identify any potential hazards and ensure that the electrical system meets all applicable codes and standards. Tampering with electrical wiring can be dangerous and should only be done by qualified individuals. It is always better to err on the side of caution and seek professional help when dealing with electrical work. Remember that electrical safety is paramount, and it is crucial to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others from harm. Always turn off the power before working on any electrical circuits. Use insulated tools and wear appropriate safety gear. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, leave it to the professionals. By following these simple guidelines, you can help to prevent electrical accidents and ensure the safety of your home or workplace. The function of a circuit breaker is fundamentally to protect an electrical circuit from damage caused by excess current from an overload or short circuit. Its basic function is to interrupt current flow after a fault is detected. Unlike a fuse, which operates once and then has to be replaced, a circuit breaker can be reset either manually or automatically to resume normal operation. Circuit breakers are made in varying sizes, from small devices that protect individual household appliances up to large switchgear designed to protect high-voltage circuits feeding an entire city. All circuit breakers have common features in their operation, however. Firstly, they must have a mechanism to detect a fault condition, typically excessive current flow. Secondly, they must have a mechanism to interrupt the current flow, usually by opening a set of contacts. And thirdly, they must have a mechanism to reset the breaker after the fault has been cleared. There are several types of circuit breakers, each designed for specific applications. These include miniature circuit breakers or MCB, which are used in residential and light commercial applications to protect individual circuits. Secondly, molded case circuit breakers or MCCBs, which are used in commercial and industrial applications for high current and voltage ratings. Thirdly, air circuit breakers or ACB, which are used in high voltage applications and can interrupt very large currents. And finally, ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs, which are designed to protect people from electric shock by detecting ground faults. The operation of a circuit breaker involves several steps. When the current in a circuit exceeds the breaker's rated current, a sensing element within the breaker detects the overload. This sensing element can be a bimetallic strip, a solenoid, or an electronic sensor. Once the overload is detected, the sensing element triggers a tripping mechanism. This mechanism causes the breaker's contacts to open, interrupting the flow of current and stopping the circuit. After the fault has been cleared, the circuit breaker can be reset by manually moving the handle to the on position. In some cases, the breaker may reset automatically after a certain amount of time. Circuit breakers are rated by their maximum current carrying capacity and their interrupting capacity. The current carrying capacity is the amount of current that the breaker can handle continuously without tripping. The interrupting capacity is the maximum amount of current that the breaker can safely interrupt during a fault. It is important to select a circuit breaker with an appropriate current carrying capacity and interrupting capacity for the specific application. The interrupting rating of a circuit breaker is the maximum current that the breaker can safely interrupt under specified conditions. This rating is typically expressed in amps. The interrupting rating is an important factor to consider when selecting a circuit breaker because it determines the breaker's ability to protect the electrical system from damage during a fault. If the interrupting rating of a circuit breaker is too low, the breaker may fail to interrupt the current during a fault, which can lead to equipment damage, fire, or personal injury. The interrupting rating of a circuit breaker should be equal to or greater than the available fault current at the point where the breaker is installed. The available fault current is the maximum current that could flow through the circuit during a short circuit. This current can be calculated using various methods, such as the point-to-point method or the infinite bus method. The interrupting rating of a circuit breaker is typically marked on the breaker's nameplate. This rating is usually expressed in thousands of amps, or kiloamps. The nameplate may also include other information, such as the breaker's voltage rating, current rating, and trip curve. When selecting a circuit breaker, it is important to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer to ensure that the breaker has an appropriate interrupting rating for the specific application. The electrician or engineer can perform a fault current study to determine the available fault current at the point where the breaker will be installed and select a breaker with an interrupting rating that meets or exceeds this value. Ignoring the interrupting rating of a circuit breaker can have serious consequences. If a breaker with a too low interrupting rating is installed, it may fail to interrupt the current during a fault, which can lead to equipment damage, fire, or personal injury. Therefore, it is important to take the interrupting rating into consideration when selecting a circuit breaker. Circuit breakers are essential components of any electrical system. They protect electrical circuits from damage caused by overloads and short circuits. Understanding how circuit breakers work and how to select the right breaker for the application is crucial for ensuring the safety and reliability of the electrical system. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer when working with circuit breakers or any other electrical equipment. They can provide valuable guidance and ensure that the work is performed safely and correctly. There are several common causes of circuit breaker tripping. Firstly, overload. An overload occurs when the current flowing through a circuit exceeds the breaker's rated current. This can happen when too many devices are plugged into a single circuit or when a device draws more current than the circuit can handle. Secondly, short circuit. A short circuit occurs when there is a direct connection between two conductors with different voltages. This can happen when insulation on wires is damaged or when a conductive object comes into contact with two conductors. Thirdly, ground fault. A ground fault occurs when current flows from a conductor to ground. This can happen when insulation on a wire is damaged or when a conductive object comes into contact with a conductor and ground. And finally, arc fault. An arc fault occurs when there is an unintentional electrical arc. This can happen when wires are loose or damaged or when there is corrosion on electrical contacts. To prevent circuit breaker tripping, avoid overloading circuits. Do not plug too many devices into a single circuit. Use power strips with surge protection to protect electronic equipment from power surges. Inspect electrical cords and wires regularly for damage. Replace damaged cords and wires immediately. Install ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs in areas where there is a risk of electric shock, such as bathrooms and kitchens. Install arc fault circuit interrupters or SIs to protect against arc faults. If a circuit breaker trips frequently, have a qualified electrician inspect the circuit to determine the cause of the problem. Do not attempt to repair circuit breakers or electrical wiring yourself unless you are a qualified electrician. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it is always best to leave it to the professionals. Circuit breakers are designed to protect electrical circuits from damage caused by overcurrents. Overcurrents can be caused by overloads, short circuits, or ground faults. When an overcurrent occurs, the circuit breaker trips, interrupting the flow of current and preventing damage to the circuit. Circuit breakers are rated by their maximum current carrying capacity and their interrupting capacity. The current carrying capacity is the amount of current that the breaker can handle continuously without tripping. The interrupting capacity is the maximum amount of current that the breaker can safely interrupt during a fault. It is important to select a circuit breaker with an appropriate current carrying capacity and interrupting capacity for the specific application. Circuit breakers are essential components of any electrical system. They protect electrical circuits from damage caused by overcurrents and help to prevent electrical fires. Understanding how circuit breakers work and how to select the right breaker for the application is crucial for ensuring the safety and reliability of the electrical system. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer when working with circuit breakers or any other electrical equipment. They can provide valuable guidance and ensure that the work is performed safely and correctly. The National Electrical Code or NEC provides guidelines for the installation and use of circuit breakers. These guidelines are designed to ensure the safety and reliability of electrical systems. Some of the key NEC requirements for circuit breakers include: firstly, circuit breakers must be listed and labeled by a recognized testing laboratory. Secondly, circuit breakers must be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. Thirdly, circuit breakers must be protected from physical damage. Fourthly, circuit breakers must be accessible for inspection and maintenance. And fifthly, circuit breakers must be properly sized for the circuits they protect. The NEC also provides requirements for the location of circuit breakers. Circuit breakers must be located in readily accessible locations. They must not be located in damp or wet locations. Circuit breakers must be protected from physical damage. Circuit breakers must be properly grounded. The NEC also provides requirements for the type of circuit breakers that can be used in different applications. For example, ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs are required in bathrooms, kitchens, and other areas where there is a risk of electric shock. Arc fault circuit interrupters or RFCIs are required in bedrooms and other areas where there is a risk of arc faults. It is important to consult the NEC and local electrical codes for specific requirements related to circuit breakers. A qualified electrician can help you to ensure that your electrical system meets all applicable codes and standards.